Oh yeah. There we go. We're live, dude.
Boom. We are live. Week 5. Man, Hunter, what's up with the glasses today? You looking good, dude.
Thank you. Um my marathon training has started and I'm just trying to stay as relaxed as I can because everything in my body is super tight.
There you
So,
go. I love
I'm
it.
just kind of in relaxation mode, man. Life's a beach. Make your podcast one. That's what I say.
Let's go. Well, hey, it is week 5 of the NFL season. This is Big Bet Bros, your weekly NFL wagering podcast. And man, we're back, dude. We're coming off a hell of a good week. And people were starting to doubt us a little bit. Toby Keith talks about it, I may not be as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. So hopefully it's not just a 1 week thing.
Absolutely. Rest in
Yeah.
peace, Toby Keith. We miss you, brother. We
Yes.
miss you down here for sure.
Man, so you went 4-2 on the week. I went 6-2.
Yep.
And dude, that was a fun week. We were officially back even on the year. So through 4 weeks, you and I both are dead even.
Yep.
So it's like we're starting to back over, but we made it through the first 4, which is traditionally very, very, very crazy. And it was. So we got a lot of stuff in store this week. We're excited to share our picks with you guys, excited to hopefully just build on what we did last week and keep this thing rolling. Hunter,
Yeah.
what was your biggest takeaway from week 4, man?
Biggest takeaway from week 4, I guess really that we're blessed to be at even at this point in the season. I didn't mean for that to rhyme like it did, but it came out that way. Uh, Dude, with as uncertain as this season has been, to be even, I really like it because in my view, and I hope this doesn't come back to haunt me. In my view, it's actually harder to bet at the very beginning of the season, and it gets slightly easier typically as you go through the season because you get more of an idea of about what each team's identity is, and then once you get a solid foundation of what you think their identity is, you get to see whether that identity matches up with the team that they're going up against in week 12, week 14, week 16, whatever. Dude, September is kind of a wild west for NFL football. Somebody pointed this out. There's always that team that was either very average or very terrible that comes out of the gate just swinging. And that to me is the Minnesota Vikings. They were just kind of all right with Kirk Cousins. So that's very interesting. Then you've got one of the same teams that's still dominating, even if it's not in Hollywood, fashion. The Chiefs are 4-0, even though that they've had their struggles. And then there's teams that are typically really, really good that just have a very disappointing start to the season. And that to me is, the Baltimore Ravens. I know that they
Who are
just had a
bouncing
very
back, by the way.
they are. But what I'm saying is to start out, they started out what 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, keep going.
No, I'm just saying. It's been a very unpredictable season so far. Even more than usual, I feel like, and to be at even for the year is just, I mean, that's just kind of encouraging to me. I don't know what you think.
100%. No, and it's funny because you're right. It does get, in my opinion, easier to have an idea of things. The thing about it is the lines just get tighter, right? Because not only is it hard for us at the beginning, it's also hard for Vegas, right? They're trying to figure it out too, and things are not as tight at the beginning of the year, right? They're still getting a feel for what every team looks like, and so it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? We all get a better idea, but so do they, and the lines get tighter. And honestly, overall, the public does start to get absolutely wrecked from this point on throughout the rest of the year.
I hope you're
So
right,
that's
bro, because
where
I'm against the public so hard this week, and it feels terrible. But I'm
no,
excited
it
to,
should
to share
feel
those. I'm just saying,
yeah,
I'm
it should feel
excited.
good, man.
This is going to be a wild week. I have a feeling, and my bets are going to reflect that. So that's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, and I sent you mine, but I have no idea what you've got in store. So I'm excited to hear those.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, real quick though, before we get rolling, we got to do shout out to the Kansas City Royals, dude. Second worst record in baseball last year.
Right.
Biggest turnaround in MLB history, going from 56 wins to freaking the division series, man. Sweeping the Orioles. Pitching's been lights out. We got to get the bats going, though. Got to get the bats going. But we get to have something on Monday night that's freaking awesome. The Royals are going to be playing a playoff game in New York against the Yankees, and the Chiefs are going to be playing on Monday Night Football home against the Saints. So that's going to be a fun day. If you're a Kansas City fan, man, it's a good time to be a Kansas City fan.
And if you're not a Kansas City fan, and if you hate the Chiefs or you hate Kansas City, it's a really bad time to be a sports fan for you, because you could be like, oh, not the Chiefs again. You switch the channel and the Royals are playing. So at some point you can't escape what is inevitably Kansas City playoff sports, dude. I feel like it's the new sports city. It is the new sports city. That's always been Boston or LA or something, but Kansas City, sneaky good sports city, because we've got the best player in football, and Bobby Witt Jr. is kind of looking like possibly one of the
three.
Yeah, he's one of the best players, in the MLB, not named Ohtani. So anyway, it's a great time to be alive.
And Aaron Judge is right there too. Aaron Judge is. Yes. It's gonna be fun.
Hell yeah.
All right, dude. Let's get rolling on these picks, dude. So we got tonight's game: Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Atlanta Falcons. This is an interesting one. I mean, all these games are interesting, but what do you got going? It's the Buccaneers right now on the road. They're 2.5-point underdogs at Atlanta. What you got, man? Anything?
Yes. So for tonight's game, I have Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Atlanta Falcons. I'm actually going under 43.5. I see the Falcons winning a very tight home game. But fortunately for the under at 43.5, I think it's going to be a tight game, but it's going to be a very low scoring game. I don't really have a reason. There's no logical reason to think this, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, everybody's been talking about how great the receiving core is. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, right? Yeah. Possibly the best or most underrated wide receiver duo in the league. But for some reason, it just feels like a very, very low-scoring game. And the main reason I had this idea is because, let me make sure that this is still true. I don't want to be talking malarkey up in here. Here is the big reason I went with the under. Okay. Thursday night football games, they are almost always the under. It's crazy, the stat line on that. Okay. So you take that, and then you see that 71% of the public is picking over. Okay. Like Dusty said, this is where Vegas starts to get things figured out. This is where they start to clean up. So going against the public, going with Vegas, and also the fact that Thursday night football games are low scoring for some reason, I'm just going to go under on this game. Dusty, what do you think?
I am exactly the opposite on that. Now it has moved a little bit. I actually have over 43 is what I'm taking. That's my official pick. Right now on DraftKings, it's moved up to 44. So yeah, you're right. The public is on that. I just think Tampa Bay Buccaneers and inside on the turf. I think both these teams can score. I think the receiving core is good. I think Atlanta's going to be able to move the ball. Their running game is legit. Tampa Bay, that's kind of something that I think they're going to try to. I think Atlanta's going to try to keep the ball on the ground with Bijan Robinson. Just overall, I think it goes over. And the one thing that we've seen, and I missed, out of my two losses last week were both on the totals, and I went unders on both of those. And I think the one that I actually won was an over. But the thing that you're seeing in these games and what you struggle with on these point totals is the game flow is so critical. And in the fourth quarter, things stall out so often. And, we've seen it multiple times this year with the Chiefs and Falcons game, right? That game was cruising towards the over. And all of a sudden, it's in game management time. Falcons go for it on fourth down. They don't kick a field goal. Boom. Then they left 6 points off the board that would have won the game. They hit the over easily, right? Not only that, the Chiefs would have had to continue to try to score. So that is the one danger with these. But I think tonight is over, in my opinion. And we've had so far this year pretty good Thursday night football games. Besides, was it the Jets last week? I don't remember.
Yeah,
The Jets look.
Jets
I think they beat the Patriots.
Okay, no. Oh yeah,
That was
yeah,
Thursday
yeah.
night last 2
Damn,
weeks
okay.
ago.
Yeah, you're right.
But hey, it's okay. We're kind of in a position here though. You've got the under 43.5. I've got over 43. So there's a chance I push and you win. So I like those. I think it's going to be a good one to watch. But I don't. What was your opinion on the spread here? Because I think Atlanta's kind of favored, and I'm not real sure why. Right? Like,
yeah.
Because Tampa.
So
what do you think on that?
It's basically 60-40. Public 60% thinks Bucks plus 2.5, and then 40% think Falcons minus 2.5. I think earlier this morning this was at -2. I liked it a lot more at -2. I was actually gonna bet Falcons -2 just because it's kind of going against the grain a little bit. But then I started thinking, I was like, man, the under hits on Thursday night a lot. And then I saw how crazy the public was on the over that I was just like, I think I hate saying this because I feel like I'm jinxing myself, but it felt like a slightly more favorable bet to take the under than to trust Atlanta to win by at least 2, if that makes sense.
Dude, I'm with you. And the NFC South is so weird. Like every year when you look at the NFC South.
I know.
They just don't make sense. They don't make sense. It's kind of like talking about the Broncos and Raiders. I mean, it's the same kind of thing. So
yes.
Anyway, hey, we got a comment from Joe. Joe, me and Joe go back and forth on Facebook a little bit because he's one of those guys that, he's not a Chiefs fan at all. Hey, and we like the Ravens too, Joe. So, go Ravens. But we kind of go back and forth a little bit because he hasn't been happy with the officiating this year, and
officiating.
But we appreciate
officiating
in
just for the
Chiefs
Chiefs
games. Yeah. Well, I mean,
okay.
I'm sure there's other teams too. That the officiating is not good, but the ones that I've seen have been the Chiefs. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Make sure, Dusty. Make sure you don't mention anything about Baltimore always getting kicked out of the playoffs by Kansas City teams. Just don't bring that up, and we should be good.
Well, hey, the Baltimore Ravens look like the Baltimore Ravens now.
Yeah.
So,
they do.
I mean, I called it last week. I said they were gonna smoke the Bills. They did. Yeah, this is a 17-game season. It's a long freaking year, and there's absolutely zero doubt that that's who's going to be. I mean, they're going to be there in the end. So,
yeah.
Anyway, hey, let's move on to the next one. We've got the Jets at the Vikings. I love this game. I don't really understand why it is the way it is, and this might be me getting crushed. But I'm taking the Vikings -2 here right now on DraftKings. It's -2.5. I'm buying the half point. Look. You said it when we opened up, Hunter. They're the team this year that jumps out the first month, and nobody expected it. Dude, Sam Darnold, it's kind of the same thing with me talking about Kyler Murray earlier in the year. Like, Sam Darnold has looked unreal. And I think it's the coaching staff. I think that, oh my gosh, what's their coach's name? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Who's coach?
The dude is Minnesota. Dude, he works so McConnell.
Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah. And he's just putting him in a position to succeed. He's got the best wide receiver in the league. The running game's good. The defense is solid. Now, the Packers game last week, right? They looked rough in the second half. Packers almost came back, but they got out to such an explosive start. The Jets do not look like they can do anything offensively. I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been what you've talked about from the beginning. I kept saying the last 2 or 3 weeks, just wait till the Jets click. Just wait till the Jets click. Man, it doesn't. At this point, it doesn't look like they're going to. And this might be the week that I'm wrong, but I'm rolling with the Vikings -2. I don't think the Jets can score enough to hang with them. I think the Vikings can do enough against that defense.
Now, did you buy the half a point, or did you catch it when it was -2?
I caught it at -2 but I don't use DraftKings. So
okay.
I had it at -2. and it's at -2.5 right now. But if you were going to play it, I would still try to buy that.
Okay. Public, I'm going to, and when I say public, I mean people that are watching. So in this case, 2 of you. I'm going to also roll with my brother here. I think that the Vikings -2 is a delightful line. I'm taking that all day. The thing that scares me the most about this pick is that I feel so confident in it. That's what scares me the most about the pick. So, but you have to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's gambling, not investing. So, if you're going to gamble, the thing you should do here is take the Vikings -2. NFL is wild, dude. Anything can happen. Let's be honest. But gosh, yeah, dude. The Vikings just look so good, and the Jets just look not real. I think the Jets are not real.
You're killing me right now. I love the glasses. You look like a little bit Eric Church from the old Chief album.
Nice.
I like
Appreciate
it. I'm loving it. Hey, dude. No, and this game is at Minnesota too. It's like
it feels like a trap.
It does feel like a trap, but you know what? The biggest issues that people have whenever they're wagering on things is when they start to overthink it. Like all my picks this week, this is the first week I've done this. I went through and I made my picks and I didn't think about them again. Like I'm just going with what I feel, going with my eye test, with my gut, and I'm not overthinking them. So I kind of did that last week a little bit because I was in that phase where, hey, we had to bounce back. I didn't want to overthink it. It worked out well. So anyway, moving on to this next one. Cleveland Browns at Washington Commanders. This one I am staying away from because this one does feel like a trap. Washington has looked really, really freaking good. Daniels has looked, man, I'm so happy. I've been talking about him since we did this week 1. I'm so happy he's playing well. But the Cleveland Browns, man, we've talked about them. Just when you think the Cleveland Browns are done, dude, they come in and they just play this game that just surprises everybody. And the defense is still nasty. I don't care how they've looked. Deshaun Watson, yeah, he's awful. I don't want any part of this game. 3.5 points is too many. If I was going to bet it, I would take the Browns plus the 3.5, but I'm not taking them. So, do you have any opinion on this one? Uh-oh.
Yes, I do have an opinion on this one. I feel like doing a bit of gambling this week, fellas. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns plus 3.5, dude. This is historical. Like Dusty just laid it out, dude. I could not agree with him more. Yes, this is where everybody's like, okay, Cleveland is officially done. Cleveland officially sucks. Dude, Myles Garrett is going to come out and feast. October is like a really weird month. They have, in my memory, and it could be slightly off, but last year, the Cleveland Browns beat a super hot 49ers team. Was that October, Dusty? I think it was. I think it was
like week 4.
I think it was week 4, week 5.
Week 4, week 5.
Yep, you guys can fact check us on that, but the concept remains the same. Like, this is kind of where they just surprise people. Also, 2 years ago, they beat the Cincinnati Bengals on Halloween, and it was another thing where it's like, okay, the Browns officially suck. The Bengals are getting hot already. Joe Burrow was throwing the hell out of the ball to T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase. Like, it was just everything. It was like so obvious to not bet the Browns. So I just love this spot. I absolutely love this spot. It's going to be a very fun, entertaining game because I have some skin on it. Because otherwise I wouldn't give a shit about this game. I really wouldn't. But the fact that it just feels so bad, it makes it feel so good to bet on it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on it.
So the difference in you and me is you have the balls to actually make this bet and make this pick. Dude, 16% of the money's on Cleveland.
I know.
You are, dude. Let's roll. I'm jumping with you. 3.5.
Let's go, dude.
Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns plus the 3.5.
Yeah. Okay. There's our lock of the week. You guys heard it first.
Lock of the week. All right. So I'm adding that one to my board. So that's going to give me 7 games. I'm going to roll with you. Cleveland Browns plus 3.5 because we both said it. I can't. I got to ride with you here. Right. If you're going to go down on this one, I'm going to go down with you. Okay.
Yep. Hey,
All
also,
right.
this could very well there could be two storylines coming out. Oh, Cleveland's not quite as bad as we thought, and also Jaden Daniels comes back down to earth a touch. I think he's been on a. I think we'll look back on him and say, dude, September of his rookie year was insane. Like, and I think that will be the majority of the story. I do think he's great, but I think that this game he's not going to look quite as good as he has in the last couple games. So let's go.
Okay. So Cleveland Browns plus 3.5. All right.
Yes, sir.
Next one, Baltimore Ravens at Cincinnati Bengals. Currently on DraftKings, it is the Bengals favored by 2. No, sorry. The Ravens are on the road. They are favored by 2. Okay. So Ravens -2 at Cincinnati. Are you playing this game?
Because I just played the game that I was talking about. I can't do two games that I feel the same way about. Like, this does feel like where Cincinnati surprises a lot of people and, covers or even beats Baltimore. But I just used all of that energy and that for that kind of bet making on the previous pick. So I'm actually staying away from this game.
Okay. Well, this is going to be, me rolling with the public here. But dude, the Ravens have had one bad game. It was obviously against the Raiders. Okay. Week 1 against the Chiefs, Lamar Jackson was absolutely incredible. I mean, they should have won the game. I mean, he's got a touchdown in the back of the end zone to Isaiah Likely. He was absolutely unreal that night. This to me is the season that the Bengals don't get this thing turned around, dude. Like, did you watch them against the Panthers last weekend?
No, but I did bet on them. I did bet on them to cover last week, and that was one of our many wins.
Yes, it was, but they can't stop anybody, man.
Yeah, their defense is trash.
Their defense is awful. Like, I like Baltimore here, man. I like them here, and yeah, the public at 77% on Baltimore, but it's at -2. I'm taking them at -2. I'm completely comfortable with that. So anyway, I don't really have any other reason for it. I just think Baltimore's a better team. I think they look better. I think they are better. I think, I don't want to talk too much crap on Cincinnati. I get it. Like, I respect what they've done over the last few years, but I think this is Baltimore. I think that's the play. I don't think you can play Cincinnati here. I think it's too close to play on the other side. So I'm rolling with Baltimore -2.
Man, sometimes you just have to simply bet on the better team, like you're doing here. I'll give you an example. Last week, I rolled with the Patriots +10 against the 49ers, who I knew were nowhere near as good as the 49ers, but I thought, maybe by the grace of God, they'd have like a backdoor cover or something. And that almost happened, but like 49ers handled that entire game, dude. Like, and now you're betting on the team that you believe is leaps and bounds better. So I do like your conviction on that. That's pretty cool to see. You've grown a lot as a person since week 1.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I'm joking.
I know you're right. You're right. I love it. I appreciate the compliment. Okay, sometimes I've grown in that area too. I used to not be able to take compliments, so I appreciate that.
Heck yeah!
All right, man. Next one. Please tell me you're playing this one. Buffalo Bills, 1-point favorites at Houston Texans. Buffalo Bills -1 on the road at Houston. Coming off a massive ass kicking to Baltimore.
Right. Are you so?
What do you got?
Did you just say you're doing -1?
No. That's what the line is. It's
okay.
-1 right now.
I got
and
you.
I'm 100% playing this game.
Okay. I am going to just let you lay out your pick here.
Yeah, Bills money line is what I'm taking. Okay, so it's at -1. I'm going to go ahead and just play Bills money line here. It's basically a pick 'em. I don't want to have the push in play. Bills are going to win this game, coming off an absolute walloping to the Baltimore Ravens in a buzzsaw on the road. Now they go on the road to play the Texans. We were talking about the Bills' schedule early in the year. I've talked about it basically every week. They're in the middle of that buzzsaw. the Texans, to me, if you've watched them every single week, CJ Stroud is teetering right here on, okay, is he falling back, right? Is he falling back to the mean? And is he going to have a sophomore slump type of thing? Or is he going to continue to excel? There's been different teams this year that have really, really, really confused him, that have made him look like he doesn't know what's going on. And I know that receiving core is awesome. They're really good. They're really good. But it's Josh Allen. He's coming off that loss. Bills going to win and win this game. Bills going to win this game. The Texans are not world beaters at home. They're not. And I know the defense for the Bills looks suspect at times. That's a tough matchup against Baltimore, right? It's a tough matchup for everybody. Now, the one thing with that, you do have a mobile quarterback 2 weeks in a row, all right? But CJ Stroud is not Lamar Jackson. So I'm rolling with the Bills here, taking this one. They're going to win it outright. That is my pick.
Okay. So I'm going to go. Yeah, I do. I like the case you laid out for it. I'm actually going to go opposite of you on this. This doesn't feel great to do, but the Texans, in my view, I mean, they're 3-1 and they haven't even played good yet. I think that they're a little bit less volatile than the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills have more upside just because Josh Allen is a little bit more dynamic, but taking the Texans +1 as a home dog, and I know that it's basically a pick 'em like my brother said, but they just seem like they're a little less roller coaster prone than the Bills. What scares me about the Bills, and I'm not overreacting just because they lost in the fashion they did last week to the Ravens. I'm simply saying last year they went on about a 3 or 4 game losing streak where they looked absolutely awful. And I hesitate to say that that's what they're beginning right now, but I just like the fact that everybody's on Buffalo, and you get a chance to take CJ Stroud at home as an underdog. I'm going Texans +1.
Yeah, the Texans haven't played anybody good yet except for the Vikings, and they absolutely got smoked.
Yeah.
I mean, they barely beat the Colts week 1. Week 2, struggled against the Bears. They won by 6. Week 3, they get smoked by the Vikings. Granted, on the road, right? That game was up in Minnesota. Dude, the Jaguars had them beat this week. I mean, the Jaguars had them beat. So I just, to me, hey, and like you just said, I love your conviction. You're rolling with that. That's what you feel. I don't know how you could take them against Josh Allen and the Bills right now. In my opinion, it's just,
well,
that's where I'm at. But
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I love it, man.
No, I hear you. Let's also talk about the fact that the Bills either blow teams out or they lose close games. You know what I mean? The Bills have blown out, or sorry, they either blow teams out or they are prone to losing. Let's just say that. And that's a bit of a vague statement, but just roll with me for just a second on this. So, they beat the hell out of the Jaguars. Okay, Jaguars are a bottom 5 team. They beat the hell out of the Dolphins. Dolphins are bottom 10 team for sure.
They were beating the hell out of the Dolphins before Tua was out, though, just to give you that.
Yeah, but I didn't think they looked great with Tua. Anyway, I digress. And then the Cardinals, they won by 6, which the Cardinals are looking decent. So what I'm saying is the Bills beat up and bully competition that they are far outweighing. But whenever the competition gets a little tighter, they do too. So that's another reason that I like the Texans here.
Okay. I respect that. Okay. Next one. Ooh, let me see here. I lost it. Okay. Carolina Panthers at Chicago Bears. Panthers are 3.5-point dogs on the road at Chicago. No go for me.
No way. Couldn't pay me to bet on it, unless you gave me +400 odds.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't like this one. Panthers have looked like they've been improved. They actually look like they're actually an NFL football team now.
Right.
Um, competitive. They obviously won 2 weeks ago. Played pretty well against Cincinnati, honestly. Hung in there, right? Hung in there, made that a game. I think this might be the game where Caleb Williams finally kind of takes off.
Okay.
But not rolling with this one. I'm not touching this game. The total is at 41. If I was going to play it, I would probably go over 41 on this one.
Okay.
But spread, nothing. Total, I'm not doing it either. So
Um,
moving on, unless you have something else to say on that one.
I actually have a question for you. Wanted your opinion. Do you think Rome Odunze or DJ Moore will have a bigger game?
Odunze.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that?
I think this might be a week that Caleb Williams actually gets stuff figured out a little bit. Dude, he's looked solid this year. He has not. He's extended plays. He's just made bad decisions. He's made bad decisions. That rookie wide receiver class. I mean, we've seen it in New York with Neighbors taking off. I think Odunze's right there too. Yeah, I think it's going to happen at some point, and this is a good week for it to do that.
All right. Well, I'm playing my wife in fantasy football. I have DJ Moore and Rome Odunze because I had them in my queue and then I got them auto drafted. Worst draft probably ever. So I'm going to swap out those two. Thank you for the advice, Brooke. I'm coming for you this week in fantasy football.
What's your record right now?
1-3. I suck, dude. I hate it.
Dude, yeah. Fantasy football has really just, I'm in too many leagues. It's too
Yeah.
many. It's not as fun
Yeah.
when you're in four leagues, 5 leagues. I know there's people that are in like 100, but I like one or two. And that's it.
Brad, the fantasy football leader of our group, he texted me today and he said, "Hey man, who's Dylan Rucker and PJ Repetto?" And I said, "Oh, a couple of my friends." He's like, "Well, they're absolutely fleecing us." Dylan was the one that drafted Xavier Worthy with like the third pick, and he's just he started in both weeks that he's had like really big games, and he's sat him the other weeks. It's a generational run what Dylan's doing right now in our fantasy football league. Anyway, let's roll. Let's keep rolling with the games in real life here.
Our fantasy football leader is what you called your commissioner. And you just said it's a generational run. I love it, man. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. All right, man. Indianapolis Colts, 2.5-point dogs at the Jacksonville Jaguars. This one, I guess this is just because Anthony Richardson's not there. I mean, I don't see how Jacksonville's favored to win any football game right now. But they have to win at some point, right?
Do they?
I mean,
They've lost like what, 10
statistically
in a row?
speaking,
Yeah.
statistically speaking, teams do win eventually during the season. So I'm still not playing this game. I do think the over under is interesting here. It's at 46.
That's
I would take
weird.
the under. I would take the under. I mean, that's kind of tempting, actually.
What the hell?
It's kind of tempting. But I'm not
What do
going to
they-
play this game.
What do they know that we don't? Is what I want to know.
Probably a lot. I mean, honestly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Probably a lot. I'm just a regular old guy. I don't have insider information. When I do have insider information, I go 6-2. But this week I don't. So, yeah.
Hey, I'm looking for the Nancy Pelosi of sports betting. So if you're out there and you just know a little bit more about the industry than all of us do, please help us with our picks because I'm trying to have a 5-0 week at some point. So anyway,
Yeah, I mean, Nancy would be nice.
yes,
It would be nice to have that. Maybe, hey,
that's right.
we are halfway to having our Facebook page be able to go live. Thanks to the followers, thanks to being 30 days into this thing. So as we gain more followers, as we get more people checking this out, I'm sure we're going to run into Nancy. I mean,
Heck
it's
yeah.
going to happen.
We're gonna run into we're gonna run into Nancy probably whenever we get to go to a Super Bowl at some point because of all the revenue we make from this show. So
Yes, I know. dude. It's getting there. It is getting
Yes,
there.
sir.
All right, man. Next play, we've got the Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots.
Okay.
Dolphins are 1-point underdogs. You know, I really like the Dolphins here. I do. I'm not. I didn't have this game on my sheet, but I think Tyler Huntley might have a little bit figured out this week. What do you think, dude? I mean, are you going to play this one? You're a Patriots. You played them every week so far. Are you playing them as favorites here?
No, I'm staying away from it this week, dude. Let's think. I got 2 wins out the gate with the Patriots, and then the last 2 I've lost because of them. So I'm just gonna. I emailed the leader of the Patriots, and I said, hey, we're taking a little break. It's not anything either one of us did wrong, but I'm just taking a little break from you guys. I got to figure out who I am as a sports bettor. So
Okay.
I'm sitting this game out.
Man, are you not tempted at all to take Miami here?
Very tempted. Very tempted. Yeah.
And, this might make you even more tempted. Only 38% of the money is on Miami.
What?
Yeah.
Like money line?
Well, let me dig into this a little bit more here.
If it's spread, I mean, it's only point I get, but
No, dude. 35% of the money is on the Dolphins on the spread. 38% of the money is on the money line. People do not believe right now in Mike McDaniel and what he can do with a quarterback that is not named Tua Tagovailoa. But, dude, they still have those weapons, and New England still cannot score. I'm adding this one to my sheet. I'm adding this one to my picks. I am rolling with Miami +1 here. I have to take it. Have to.
hold on.
Have to.
Oh, let's see if I got any money left in my my allowance here. Damn. So that is crazy.
Yeah, that's a you have to.
Dude, that really is. Yeah. Yeah, that you got to do that. Let me make sure that I didn't bet the under on this game. Because I did bet the under. Sorry that hey, by the way, guys, sorry this is taking me forever. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, Dusty, I'm rolling with you. I'm going Miami Dolphins +1. It is super knee-jerk reaction to just place a bet while on the show like this after hearing somebody make the case. But I'm rolling with my brother on this. I'm putting $10 on the Miami Dolphins +1. How about that? Let's go.
Dude, do not fool the people. Do not fool them. You're not putting $10 on this. Hunter plays with a bankroll of $40,000, everyone. That's what he does. $10 is okay. He's not lying. Man. Oh, yeah, dude. You should feel really good about that. That's like a penny to you.
I'm gonna go buy some mums from the fall stand, a couple houses down with that $18 that I get from payout. I cannot wait. My wife's gonna be stoked too.
Okay, so we added that one to the board. Miami Dolphins +1.
Yep.
Dude, hey, if it loses, it loses. That's a pick you got to take. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. This spread's pretty big, man. 49ers are favored by 7 at home to the Cardinals. That's a really weird line to me. I guess maybe everybody thinks the Cardinals are done now. They kind of have my opinion that I had the first couple of weeks, and they kind of got juked out. And the Cardinals, they did get smoked this last weekend. But I think that's too many points. I'm not going to play this one. And if I was going to play it, I would definitely lean Arizona +7.
Okay.
I would definitely lean Arizona +7. But it's just a weird – it looks too weird to me. It looks too weird. So I am going to sit on my hands and not make it play on this game.
Okay. I'm not making a pick on this game as a single game, but I might be making it as part of a teaser later on in the show. Yeah.
I like it. A teaser. Okay.
Teaser incoming.
Teaser incoming. Neither one of us are playing this one. Let's move on to the Raiders at the Broncos.
Okay.
I am playing this game. The Raiders are The Broncos are 2.5-point favorites at home against the Raiders.
Okay.
I am actually taking the Broncos. I got them at -2. I am going Broncos at -2 here. So if you were going to play this right now, you would need to buy a 0.5 point on DraftKings. You take them at 2.5 if you feel comfortable with that. I still like that. Just so you guys know, one of the reasons that I like the 2 numbers now, I mean, used to be, a -2 compared to a 2.5 or a 3. Nobody really went for 2 back in the day. Okay. You are seeing more and more and more teams going for 2 now. You're seeing more and more teams go for 2 when they're down 14 and they score to make it a 6-point game with all the analytics. So that 2 is a big deal because it's not just field goals anymore. It's not just field goals, extra points, touchdowns. And so that's why I'm going ahead and buying that 0.5 point. I like the -2. I like that the pushes and play with that. But I think the Broncos have looked pretty solid this year. I mean, I thought their game was impressive against the Jets this last weekend. I know they only won, 10-9. That's a good defense. They definitely confused Bo Nix. But Denver's defense has been solid so far this year, outside of, I think, the Seattle game. So I'm rolling with the Broncos -2 at home.
Okay. I'm also picking in this game. Rather than try to predict which team is going to show up and actually play a good game, which can be impossible to do when the Denver Broncos are playing the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm going the route of picking under 37 points. I picked this bet up, I think, yesterday. I just think that these are 2 really bad teams that are meeting head-to-head, and neither one of them is going to, dominate. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I think it's going to be kind of just 2 really bad teams hitting each other, button heads for a really awkward 4 15-minute quarters. So I'm going under on this one. Under 37 is what I got for the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. I think it's wild that my brother's betting on Bo Nix. But, hey, I like it. I like it.
Dude, how can you not bet on Bo Nix, man? He's got the wisdom. He's got the wisdom. Hang on, I'm fixing my mic here.
You're fine. Did you hear my synopsis?
Yes, sir. I did hear your synopsis,
Okay.
and I like it. I do like it. Hey, maybe take me off the screen for just a second.
Oh, yeah. That would actually be good. I didn't want you guys to see me in full resolution drinking Starbucks iced coffee out of the court. But if my brother's got to twist his mic a little bit to make it more favorable positioning-wise, then I guess this is something I can do for him. So,
all right, we're back.
Okay.
Dude, this has been my favorite episode. This has been my favorite episode so far.
Yeah, for sure.
No, hey, I like what you said on the total here. It's at you said over, or you said under 37 though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's at 35.5 now. So it's moving down. People are thinking the same thing as you.
Yeah, it's a very low number. I get that, but this just feels like a 13-10 or 11-10, something weird like that. So
yeah, I just don't think the Raiders defense is that good. I think the Broncos have looked decent offensively. They've looked decent. And I don't even know why I'm explaining myself here. I'm not playing this game. You feel what you feel, which is great. I think the one reason the Broncos look so crappy offensively last week was because they were playing a pretty good defense at the Jets. So that one would make me a little nervous. Kind of scares me just a little bit because it is pretty low. But I like it. I mean, I like your conviction, like you said earlier. So Hunter's rolling with the under 37. That is his play on this. Anything else on that game?
Nope. That's about all I've got.
Okay. Next one, New York Giants. The New York Football Giants at the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 6.5 at home here.
Okay. Are you playing this one?
Negative.
Okay.
Negative. This one looks too easy. It looks like, the Seahawks is who you should take, right? That's what the tempting thing is, right? They're clearly better. The Giants are awful. Seahawks have been really freaking good this year, man. Really good. But too many points.
Okay.
Too many points. And I can't take the Giants here at all to cover.
Okay.
What say you?
Yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks -6. I think that this is I think this would be considered a very square bet. I get that, but kind of like Dusty earlier, picking the better team. I'm just simply picking the better team here. I think it's Seahawks -6. Yeah, I'm not overthinking it. This is kind of my basic pick, probably of the whole week, as far as just taking something very mainstream. So,
Yeah, I mean, I like it because they're at home.
yeah,
I mean, that gives me more comfort there, because I could see this if it was a road game. I could see this line still being like at 4.5, right? Seahawks 4.5 type thing, 5 even. So yeah, I get that, man, and I like it at 6. I get it at 6 better than 6.5. That might be something I end up sneaking on later, but yeah, I'm not playing it on the show.
okay, fair enough.
Next game is the Green Bay Packers at the Los Angeles Rams. Packers are 3-point favorites on the road. What do you think?
I do not think I'm playing this. Are you playing this one?
Negative.
Okay.
I got one more game on the week. I got one more.
Okay. No, I'm not playing.
Now, let's talk about this though for a second, because the Packers did look really, really good in that comeback against the Vikings on Sunday. It just took them a while to get going. Minnesota exploded out of the gate. Jordan Love coming off the injury. I do think the Packers are a good football team. I do. Yep. The Rams, man, for some reason, some Matthew Stafford highlights have been popping up lately from like even back in his time in Detroit, and like mic'd up stuff, like the play where he came back in after getting his shoulder like almost dislocated type of stuff, that kind of thing. Dude, he's just a dog, and he doesn't have any weapons at all. And the Rams look like they should be dead in the water. But dude, Matthew Stafford just figures things out, and he is not quitting. So it kind of makes me a little bit nervous there to take the Packers on the road. So that's why I'm not going to play it.
Okay. Yeah. If I was going to put this pick on the show, I would go Rams +3. I just like them as home dogs. Like Dusty said, Matt Stafford does not need his ribs to be intact to be able to, make game-winning drives. He did that with broken ribs back in Detroit. It was something crazy like that where he had to leave for a couple snaps because the wind got knocked out of him and he broke his ribs, but he came back in and he was like, "Oh, okay, just get in the huddle, man." And then he won the game. So I really like him.
On 2-point conversion.
Yeah. So if I was going to bet this, I would go +3, but I am not going to pick 19 games for the show. So
yeah. Okay. Cowboys at the Steelers. Dude, I know you already hate this game because the Steelers are favorites. You don't like betting on the Steelers when they're favorites. The Cowboys, I would love to take the Cowboys here. Okay, it's 2.5, right? Steelers are 2.5-point favorites at home against the Cowboys. I think the Steelers have really kind of gotten by with winning ugly, kind of like the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
But I don't believe in Justin Fields yet. I know he's looked better. He's managing things. He finally kind of made a big mistake last week. He's really avoided the negative plays that he had so much of in Chicago. And Dallas has looked so up and down so far. They've looked like they've got it figured out, and then they don't, and then they do, and then they don't. Newsflash, it's the Cowboys. What's new? So, not playing this one either. Not playing this one either.
Okay. Yeah, I'm staying away from it as well.
Okay.
Staying away from it. Anything could happen. Everything's on the table. So,
All right. That moves us to our last game of the week.
okay, what you got?
New Orleans Saints at the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football. While we'll have a Royals playoff game going on the other channel. I got the Saints plus the 6 here is what I'm taking.
Okay.
Plus the 6. And it's the same reason I took them last week, the Chargers last week against the Chiefs. Until the Chiefs prove they can win a game that doesn't come down to the last drive and our defense having to get a stop, I have zero reason to believe they're going to cover anything over 3, right? So, yeah, going with the Saints here. I think Saints have looked solid. I think the Saints are going to be solid on Monday night. The Chiefs and their situation at wide receiver is a very real thing. We no longer have our 2 top wide receivers. We have our best running back who is out in Pacheco. If anybody can figure it out, it is the Chiefs. It is Mahomes. It is Andy Reid. They've proven that they can do that. I believe that they will. But 5.5 points is too many points for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. I totally hear everything you said. I'm not playing this game because one part of me totally agrees with you. Yeah. Until the Chiefs beat a team convincingly, there's no reason to take them in a large spread. But also, I think Mahomes is going to be extra locked in this week because I think he is beating himself up for the fact that his interception he threw kind of set off the chain of events that caused Rashee Rice to get hurt. You know, I know that sounds crazy, probably. I'm not judging him, but I know that he's probably being extremely hard on himself right now. So I think this is probably a game where he has no picks. But those two different ideas in my head pulling at each other, I couldn't really come up with a bet. I couldn't figure out who to pick. So I'm just actually staying away from this one. I might bet some touchdowns or something, or some props maybe just to have fun because I do love throwing a couple dollars on the Chiefs games, you know, in some fashion. It just adds to the joy watching it. But I'm not taking anybody in the spread or anything like that. So,
one interesting stat here. I think that this is still true. I know it was. Maybe he's done it. Maybe he has done it in the last couple of years. I don't think he has. Derek Carr has never won at Arrowhead. Unless, yeah, unless he finally did it. But I don't think he did. He's absolutely, I mean, this obviously goes back to his time with the Raiders. But the one thing that scares me about New Orleans is Kamara out of the backfield catching passes. Chiefs' run defense has been really, really, really good this year. They've been really good. I mean, compared to what they have been, they are stopping the run. Olave, I think that McDuffie shuts him down. I think or at least contains him. It's the Kamara thing, man. It's the Kamara out of the backfield and the screen game, the angle routes, those kind of things that make me a little bit nervous here. Putting, linebackers in coverage on him. So that's kind of the one area here that scares me for the Chiefs. I do think you're right about Mahomes. I think that he's obviously beating himself up over it. It's football. Stuff happens. It is what it is. It's not his fault that happened.
Not at all.
It just did. And another thing, Kareem Hunt looked incredible last week.
He did.
And incredible is not an overstatement here. Like, he looked very, very, very good. And, they've been talking about it this week on the radio here. If you're giving extra touches to people now that Rice is out, no Hollywood Brown, Kelsey's, he had a better game last week. If you're giving extra touches to people, it's not going to be Sky Moore. Right? It's probably not going to be Mecole Hardman. Xavier Worthy's going to have an increased role, which I think in the long run, this is going to help him. I do think in
It's
the
going to
long
help his
run,
development.
because I think he can handle it. I think he can handle the workload. It's not going to look pretty all the time, but man, having Kareem Hunt right now, I'm interested to see if he can look that way again in week 2, in his second week. I mean, and they didn't do anything with him in the screen game last week,
I
so
know.
it's fun. It's fun to see it, but I still like the Saints to cover here.
Okay. Man, you have me excited to watch this game, dude. I had kind of just been treating it like a, typical week 5 regular season game, but whenever you kind of put all that into perspective, there's a lot to be excited about from this game. There's a lot to be excited about from an entertainment perspective. This is going to be a very fun game to watch, a very interesting game to watch. And something else that I'll add to the mix, there are like 3 ex-Chiefs defenders. You got Willie Gay, he plays for the Saints. You've got Colin Saunders, he plays defensive line for the Saints, and then you've got Tyrann Mathieu. He's still the kind of the Swiss Army knife. So there's going to be a lot, and then Derek Carr is making his return to Arrowhead, and that's probably like his biggest nemesis in his career is having to go to Arrowhead
Absolutely.
and play the Chiefs. So, dude, there's so many storylines here that I didn't even really think about until you kind of got on that ball. You kind of got that ball rolling. But, dude, this is going to be a really fun game to watch. Now that you say that.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. I am not going to be at the game now. Man is going to go, but it's definitely going to be entertaining. So, man, let's go through our pick review. Let's lay these out, man. And you go first if you got them written down.
Okay. And I'm actually, and I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. I've thought about this today. I'm actually going to use this as a clip on our social media pages. If you guys are not following us on social media, we are on all the outlets. So we're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and basically we cut clips from this show and put them on our social media just so you can consume our content in, smaller form essentially, and just, squeeze the good out of the lot that we lay down. So, I am rambling hardcore at this point, but this is going to be a clip for the socials. So I'm just going to go in the order that they're listed in my bet book. I'm not going to try to figure out chronologically where they're all at. Okay. So, damn it. I also talked about the teaser earlier. I forgot to tell you my teaser, Dusty. Can I say that real quick before we do?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. All right. So my teaser for this week, first one of the 2024 NFL season, I've got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Arizona Cardinals parlayed in a 7-point teaser. So you've got the Cincinnati Bengals plus 9.5 against their divisional foe, the Baltimore Ravens. And then you've got the Arizona Cardinals plus 14 against the San Francisco 49ers. Really, really liking this teaser. Teasers are not something that it's not the kind of activity I like to engage in. Let's just say that. But I figured I'd get a little exotic this week and do something like that. I really like that teaser. So that's my teaser. You gotta put the Bengals and the Cardinals together and then do a 7-point teaser, and that's how that goes. Dusty,
Love it.
I've talked for like 3 minutes straight. So actually, you do your final picks first, if you would.
Okay. All right, man. So first game tonight, I got Bucks Falcons over 43 tonight. Bucks Falcons over 43. Vikings -2. Vikings -2. Ravens -2. Bills money line. Broncos -2. Browns plus 3.5. I jumped on this with you. Browns plus a 3.5. Dolphins plus 1. And Saints plus 6. Those are my 8 picks for the week. Too many, but I'm rolling with it.
Okay. How many picks?
I got 8.
Woo! Okay. All right, dude. I'm going to be scattered all over the board because I'm going to be scattered all over the board because I have added picks literally on this show. So I'm going to try to go in the order that my brother just listed them, and then the games that he didn't pick, that I did pick, I'm just going to throw those in. So this could be very messy, but here are my picks, Week 5, NFL 2024. All right, tonight, Thursday Night Football, we got the Buccaneers and the Falcons facing off. I'm taking the under. 30. Gosh, damn, I'm going to have to clip this here. I'm taking
Under 43.5.
I'm taking the under 43.5 for Thursday Night Football. Next, I've also got the Vikings -2. Vikings -2 against the New York Jets. Next, I've got the Browns +3.5. Browns +3.5 against the Washington Commanders. They're going to cool down Jaden Daniels. Next, I got the Dolphins +1 against the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots should never be favored in a football game. Next, I've got the Raiders and Broncos under 37 for the game. I've got the Seattle Seahawks -6 beating the Giants. I've got the Houston Texans +1 against the Bills. And that, my friends, concludes my picks for the week. I didn't even count, Dusty. How many did I just say? Did I just say like 10 picks?
Oh, it was 7. 7.
Was it 7?
Yeah, 7.
Oh Lord, what have I done to myself? Well, this is this could be absolute catastrophe. I might have to sell some stuff for my storage unit to place more bets in week 6 if this doesn't go my way.
Oh man, you just got to tell Brooke to pick up some of those overtime hours.
Seriously, substitute teacher some classes. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Plus you got your teaser on there.
Yeah, dude, I've got a lot of action going on in my bet slip this week. So let's just pray we make it to week 6.
We'll make it. We'll make it, man. Make it. We're back on track. It was literally, I almost sent you the GIF or the whatever it's called, the reel of the old dudes. We are back. We are back. That one, the old Alan from The Hangover.
Yeah. Hey, did you see the Family Guy short that I sent you?
I didn't.
It's so the caption above the video said, "Me." Oh, dang it, Dusty. You you just put the layer across my face. So the Family Guy thing I sent you, what you're fine, you're good. The Family Guy thing I sent you was this. It had me when the NFL season starts, and Peter Griffin goes up to the counter in Vegas and he says, "I'd like to bet $100." And he slides the 100 on the table, and they go, "Sir, don't you want to pick a team?" And he says, "Nope, just take it." Like, that's the scene.
I saw that one, dude. That's a funny one.
So good. So good. It's
well, dude, week 5 is going to be epic. I can feel it right now.
Really?
I can feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're feeling it, man.
Dude, we have taken some sketchy picks.
Sketchy. This is either going to be really good. Yeah, this might be the week where we lose all our credibility, or we go viral for having, the hottest streak on the internet. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, we've taken Deshaun Watson. We've taken a Miami Dolphins team that doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, we've taken Geno Smith as a heavy favorite.
Well, you did that.
Yeah.
Not me. Yeah. Betting on Derek Carr in Arrowhead. What are we doing, man? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Anyway, hey, last thing I want to say. Have you seen the Honey Nut Cheerios commercial yet with Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce? The Honey Nut Choo Choo Train.
I have not.
Okay. dude, you gotta look it up. It's pretty epic. Kind of reminds me
Okay.
of you right now, honestly.
Okay.
So, anyway,
Well, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this week. I'm super stoked. So let's
all right, man.
Big Bet Bros week 5. Thank you guys for tuning in or watching after we recorded live. We love you, and we'll see you on the road. You'll have a lot more money on you, just like we will. I'll see you.
All right, peace out, everybody.